York City, and I want you to listen to No Holds Barred Network.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode number... God, I don't even remember what number one. It's been so long. 24 of the All Elite podcast right here on the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all AEW content and podcast content. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you are following us on Twitter at All Elite Pod, subscribing to us right here on youtube.com/NHBWR, hitting the bell icon as well to get all notification bells turned on. I'm your host, as always, Kyle Masters, the real Kyle Masters. God, it's been so long since we've been on the show. I'm already rusty. But I'm always joined by my co-host. She is the executive vice president of Giggles and the heartbreak chick, Tiffany. So new format this week. If you're watching us on YouTube in your regular view, you can see it's a brand new layout. And right below me is a new chat box. We're actually going to be live on YouTube and Periscope, and then soon to be, we're going to also, whenever we do these, we're going to be live on Twitch. We're starting to figure out how to get live on Facebook. We're going to be live everywhere as soon as we are live with the podcast. So today is like the beta, the first trial, and so far so good. I mean, I can see the chat's working on the screen. I hope we're live everywhere.
It's working, Kyle, but it's coming up as a multi-streaming as the YouTube. It's not the actual...
What do you mean?
You have to add the YouTube itself.
I have to add the YouTube?
The YouTube. It's coming up as a different platform.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So I did something wrong already.
I see us.
Are we live on YouTube or Periscope right now?
We're live on YouTube, but it's not the link you shared.
It's not the link I shared.
You have to add back that other YouTube you were talking about.
Okay, that's interesting. So I'm so confused. So bear with us while we figure out this thing. We're trying on a new platform to stream everywhere. So today's probably going to be a trial and error basis. Already, I don't think we're on the right YouTube. God, are you sure we're not live? Like, why?
We are live. It's just not.
I don't see it. That's the problem. I don't see us live on YouTube.
Set as a reminder.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Click the multi-streaming with it on YouTube, then you see it. Hi guys, everybody in the chat.
I'm so confused when you say click multi-stream. I don't know what that means.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys.
But anyways, while she figures that out and tells me, if you're new to this podcast, this is where myself and Tiffany talk about All Elite Wrestling, and for today, trying out new things right in the intro. God. Yeah.
So look at what I sent you in DM. So you can,
what DM?
In Facebook Messenger.
Okay, thank you. There's multiple DM platforms.
We all over the place.
You just sent me a DM somewhere. Okay, here we go. Puzzle time. Try to figure out which DM she sent it to me from.
Mr. Beaks in the chat. What is going on? Beak, how are you?
Yes, we'll get to Mr. Beaks' message later on. It's very important. We must hear it. It is a very important message.
In the chat. What is going on? Beak, how are you? I think you just have to add the YouTube thing that you took off before in the restream. Remember you said the YouTube events? I think you need to add that back because it's sitting as waiting for No Holds.
Well, that's the thing with trial and error. There's the first error.
Yes.
But yes, we're trying something new, guys. We're going to be streaming in a lot more platforms starting this week, I guess. And then going forward, there's going to be also Twitch. Like I said before, Facebook, we're still trying to figure out how that's going to work. But it'll be up very soon for that. So I did add it, but I don't think it says... I think I might have to do it for next episode. It's not... I don't think it's going to let me do it right now. But I know we are live on Twitter right now. So hello to all our Twitter friends out there who are watching. All Other than that, let's just dive into the episode. Might as well. I'm not gonna sit here and mess with it the whole episode because it's not what people came to see. People came to see us, talk about AEW, which is the number one.
All right, I'm just dropping it all in the. Right.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I know I put the wrong link out on Twitter, but we are live on YouTube. I guess the wrong YouTube.
YouTube.
Well, because we're using this thing and it had two different ways of posting on YouTube, and I guess I clicked the wrong one. I actually had the original one, but I thought it was the wrong one, and I don't know. I'll figure it out for next episode. But it won't let me. It won't let me click. It won't let me send it into it.
All right. Well, you do our plugs, and I'm gonna read it. Okay. How about that?
Yeah, you do that while I do all the plugs, guys. If you don't already know, make sure you are following us on social media at All Elite Podcast on Facebook. Because pretty soon we're gonna be live on Facebook as well. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at All Elite Pod and Twitter at All Elite Pod. And make sure you are hitting the subscribe button on YouTube and hitting the little bell icon to let you know when we are going to be going live. If you want to take us on a go, we are now officially for everyone and available everywhere. That's right. We are available on multiple different platforms. iTunes, which is now called Apple Podcasts, since now iTunes doesn't exist anymore. I don't know if you heard that, Tiff. iTunes is gone.
Oh, wow.
So now it's just Apple Podcasts. We're available on Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, CastBox, and now officially on iHeartRadio. Today will be the first episode being posted on iHeartRadio, which I'm very excited for because it's a huge platform to get on. So I'm very excited about that. So we are available to listen to we're available everywhere for everyone. So take us on the go on all available outlets. Everything will be linked down in the YouTube version of the podcast. And make sure you are checking out our t-shirt store, AEP Tees, presented by KayFabe Tees. We have 4 t-shirts on there with 2 new designs on the way. I am being told by KayFabe Tees will be posted today, our 2 new shirt designs. So go check it out, guys. whatforapparel.com/AEP. That is whatforapparel.com/AEP. And check out the official merchandise for the All Elite Podcast. Also, go give our friends KayFabe Tees a check out as well. KayFabeTees.com. They have some awesome, cool-looking design shirts. They always add new t-shirts on there. They're a really great company to work with. So shout-outs to our boys at KayFabe Tees. A lot of cool-looking shirts there. I'm probably going to update this graphic soon and add some new ones, but there gives you a general idea of what you can get with the Brett Worked Brett shirt, the Merch Sheep, the Full Beer Challenge, the Mark. Awesome-looking t-shirts. Great stuff, guys, at KayFabe Tees. Go check them out. And as always, and as promised, a special message from Mr. Beak himself, the Executive Vice President. That's right. Tiffany, I can't.
Sorry.
I don't know what penguin language that is. I can't. I can't decipher what that means, but means something. But yes, you said there's gonna be a mug. There's gonna be a Mr. Beak mug.
There is a Mr. Beak mug. It's on KayFabe Tees, so make sure you go check it out. I will be buying that my next paycheck. So
awesome.
yeah,
Mr. Beak mug. I love it.
So sorry, guys. I know I redid the link, so I'm sorry if you're just joining us just now. So thank you. Make sure you smack that like button as well.
Also, if you guys like Discord, we have a Discord. It's an awesome place to hang out with other wrestling fans and talk some wrestling. You can talk about general stuff. It's awesome tool. Tiffany first showed it to me a couple weeks ago. I have loved it ever since. Discord, guys, if you guys are familiar with Discord, our link for adding us is down in the description below on YouTube. So make sure you run on over to the YouTube channel if you're listening to us on the go and clicking the Discord link and adding yourself to our Discord page. Awesome stuff on there, and you're not gonna want to miss out. It's cool. I like it. I've definitely grown on it since you showed me it. So I'm excited.
It's fun. That's fun. I mean, we got all different channels in there.
I just went to the old layout for a second. We're not there.
We're just doing, just like
but
my
we got the chat right here.
So I'm sorry, guys, that we didn't podcast last week. I'm still fighting a cold. I'm sure you can still hear it. I'm still nasal, but I mean, we've been wanting to podcast. There's just so much stuff going on. I mean, you guys have been tweeting at us. You guys are absolutely amazing. So thank you.
And I was thinking about doing it solo, but God, podcasting solo sucks.
No, I will not allow it.
It's
okay? No.
Anyways. Yeah, I thought about it, and like I've podcast by myself in the past. It's pretty tough. I love having a co-host. I'm one of those people that requires a co-host.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I can't do it by myself. Plus, me and Kyle have been doing this for a while, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, did we say hi to Fat Pharaoh?
Oh boy, no, we did not say hi to Fat Pharaoh.
Hi, Fat Pharaoh.
Hello. That's Fat Pharaoh in full gear challenge mode right there. Not the actual Fat Pharaoh, which this will be a t-shirt. Yeah. Like I said before, this will be an official t-shirt starting today, guys, on all Elite Tees or whatforapparel.com/AEP on our official store. I love that design. It's coming on there today, so make sure you go check that out when it comes up. If you're a fan of it, buy it. And guess what? All proceeds for the shirts actually don't go to us. All proceeds are donated to Culture City. So we are making zero profit on these t-shirts, so we're not taking any of your money. Everything is being donated to Culture City. If you don't know what Culture City is, it is a sweet organization that's paired up with AEW for all future events to have sensory sensitive rooms, and they provide all the stuff for the sensory sensitive people to enjoy the event in their own way. So all proceeds are being donated straight to them for these t-shirts. So I'm gonna actually make a new graphic and have it in the graphic soon enough.
Weren't you adding the list of husbands? Is that one of the shirts?
That's the other shirt today. Tiffany's long list of husbands. She's gonna have an official t-shirt called the List of Husbands. Really cool design that we made for that. So it's pretty sweet. So when it's up there, guys, go check it out. Other than that, we do have an announcement to make.
Yes.
So you're getting a double dose of all Elite podcast this week. With me and Tiff. Next week. Next week you're going to have 2 episodes. Not sure when the first one's going to be our regular episode, but next week on Wednesday at around 3:30 or 4 p.m. Eastern time, we have a very special guest joining the podcast. Her name is Maria, and to give you a general idea of what she does, if you guys ever watch Being Elite, and I hope you guys are watching Being Elite, you ever seen those little graphics at the end, the cartoon sketches of Nick and Matt talking? She actually designs those.
Michael Nakazawa. I love it.
Yeah, she actually designs those. So she's going to be a special guest on a podcast with us next week. We're going to interview her, and it's not going to be as long as our regular podcast. It's more going to be like an interview podcast and just have fun with you guys out on YouTube. If you guys have any questions for her, make sure you guys are joining that live stream so you can ask her, but she is the one who is designing all of that. So she will be a special guest on the podcast next week. I'm excited to talk to Maria about that. So
I'm sure you guys have seen she's also done a bunch of GIFs. They're all over Twitter. I love her. I've been a huge fan for a while now. So I've been retweeting a lot of her stuff so you guys can see it on my personal Twitter, and I'll start retweeting some stuff on the All Elite Podcast Twitter as well so you guys can see it. But I love her MJF one with the toilet paper bouncing off his head. Yeah. It's the most funniest thing. And I saw some of her latest stuff, so we'll show you some of her stuff next week as well. So I'm excited to talk to her.
So hello to everyone in the chat right now. I can see the chat going nuts. Looks like most of our viewers are coming from YouTube right now. Periscope. Definitely
tweet us out, guys.
Out.
Let's get some people in here. Let's get some new people.
Yeah, go over to Twitter, hit that retweet on the Periscope live version of this podcast, and see if we can get some more people in here. But we're deciding to try this out with the chat on the screen so you guys can see what you're typing as well, and it'll be part of our podcast going forward. So this screen will be the screen going forward. So
Maria's in the chat. Hi, Maria.
Thank
you.
What's going on, Maria?
So awesome. I'm so excited for next week.
So other than that, we're gonna move in.
Where you want to go?
I know it's weird because we haven't podcasted in like 2 weeks, so I'm kind of getting my greases oiled up here, or my wheels oiled up. We'll do what we usually do. We'll do around the AEW world. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, like you guys seen this title of this podcast with Summer of Mox. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, especially around Jon Moxly, with him being in New Japan Pro Wrestling and the crazy matches he's had so far with Juice Robinson. And it's just been an insane couple of weeks with him, and like the future events announced for Jon Moxley as well. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited for the summer with Moxley. It's definitely going to be the summer of Mox. With everything with him, and I'm excited for him in AEW, especially with his announced matches so far. So he's officially, I just got to bring this page over here. He's officially going to be going up against Joey Janela at Fyter Fest. which I'm
Ooh.
excited for.
You think there's gonna be some staple guns involved again?
I think it's gonna be a really,
cigarettes?
really hardcore style type of match. It's gonna be a whole no holds barred type of match for sure. And speaking of Fyter Fest, if you guys didn't see, we will let you guys watch it. There's a special announcement. Was it yesterday or the day before from Kenny Omega himself on his Twitch channel about Fyter Fest. This is very important. If you don't know, we're going to show you guys right now and let you guys watch for the first time.
Ages. Yes, we are going to be streaming Fyter Fest, and it's going to be live, and it's going to be free. Free, absolutely free. Yeah, I mean, the bill of our fans, and we're trying to introduce a new product, and the people that can't, unfortunately, come to CEO, can't come to Daytona Beach, which is such a great destination, by the way.
I would know.
Yeah, but
I haven't gone.
well, guess what?
What?
Now you can
So, yes, Fyter Fest is going to be officially free. Free streaming for everybody. So, we're not going to have to pay a pay-per-view price for this. Fyter Fest is officially going to be free and for live streaming. That's exciting. That is huge. I am pumped for Fyter Fest now that it's being free on a Saturday night. I cannot wait for it. We will be doing an official review for it for you guys.
We're gonna do a what's it called? A preview.
Predictions as well.
Predictions, yes.
Yeah. So any type of event like that or a pay-per-view, we're going to be doing predictions and review for. So I'm excited for that. But the big announcement being free, that is huge. I know it's going to come with its critics of people saying, well, then how are they making money? Blah, 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 blah. Fyter Fest is different, though. Fyter Fest is not fully AEW run. It's run through that COE or CEO company. So they're just part of it. So it's not. It's really up to them to whether or not they want to charge people for it. So they chose to live stream it for free. Let's live stream it for free.
Yes.
And I'm excited for that. I think that's huge, and it's again another step into the alternative world. That's what's showing you guys what AEW is about, being the alternative rather what you're used to with the WWE. So I am excited for that huge announcement by Kenny Omega on his Twitch channel, which will be part of Twitch soon. We'll get that Twitch channel up and running, so we'll be streaming on Twitch.
Place.
Everywhere.
Changing the world.
Changing the world. So that was the big thing with Fyter Fest coming up. And again, Jon Moxley this summer, it's going to be insane. It's already been a crazy start to the summer of Mox so far. Other than that, around the AEW world, you were at an event where you met MJF and you met Dillinger, or AKA Sean Spears.
It was at Create a Pro, which is owned by Zack Ryder. It's here in Long Island. They're basically in Hicksville, New York, but actually they did an event up the block from my house.
Hicksville, New York.
Hicksville.
Bunch of Hicks there.
So it was pretty cool. It was. I've never been to a Create a Pro. I know a bunch of people have been there. So this was their big attraction. I think that they said this was like the most that they've seen.
I've seen your pictures and videos. I'm like, that's a interesting place to watch a show. It looks like, like a
it's like an Elks Lodge.
Blah, blah.
What is the damn name of it? It's like a group, like a whole bunch of people go to it. So it's a thing. It's only like a couple blocks from my house. So it was pretty nice. I mean, don't laugh at me because I know I got ripped the other day. So I'm gonna get ripped on this as well too. They play bingo and stuff like that. And I've gone in there, but I'm just saying, it's not because I'm old, but it was something to do. So anyway, but it was pretty cool. It was a nice little setup. It wasn't too crazy crowded. Because I've been to events where it's like hot, no air. Yeah. This was pretty nice, but let me tell you, MJF stated fucking character. I loved every freaking second of this shit. I was so excited. I saw Sean Spears. I came over to him. I gave him a hug. Okay, and then I saw MJF, and I told him I was like I've been a huge fan of you since SWA, which was years ago, which actually Jimmy has ref for those shows as well. He's like, what do you want? So he's in character. I wanted him to tell me to go fuck myself, pretty much. And then I took a picture with him, and I thanked him.
Yes, I have it right here for you guys. Wait till you guys see
him.
Look at his face reaction. This is hilarious, by the way. So this was really funny. So let me just get up on the screen for you guys. MJF's face in this picture. It's great. You can see he's smiling, but he's also trying to be MJF as well. Yeah. So this is great.
He's checking out your rack, and I'm like, oh, thanks. Like, you know. It was such like an awkward picture because he like wouldn't get up. My friend Danny, he went to go do a photo op and the autograph, and he goes, "What's your name?" He's like, "Danny." He goes, "Okay, dipshit." And he literally wrote. I should have said that to Kyle. He literally wrote to dipshit from MJF. I was sitting there dying laughing the entire time. Like, it was just, he's just too good. Oh, and then he told me he was going to charge me $5 more because I met Sean Spears. So
yeah, there's that one picture that came from that, them both giving the middle finger to each other. Yeah,
it was great. Very, very entertaining. But Kyle has a clip of video because he wrestled that night, and
he did something to a fan. And this was, and the fan, and Tiffany felt really bad because the fan was very upset at this. So here's a clip from MJF's entrance at the event Tiffany was at, and you can see what happens with him and the kid right in front of Tiff. And if you guys can't see it right away, basically the kid has a scarf just like MJF, but he rips it and then throws it. So here you go. Yeah, he was not well liked for that.
He spit on the scarf. I know you can't really see it. He spit on the scarf and threw it on the floor. Kid had to be like 10 years old. Big fan of, well, I guess not really that big fan of MJF, but he was wearing the scarf. And he I mean, if you go back and watch the video, you can see the poor kid with his mouth dropped. And then he walked over to his father and sat down. I swear he must have been crying for 10 minutes. I felt so awful for the kid. Like, I wanted to go give him a hug, but poor guy. I mean, it's funny. Like, he could, like, I would have rather him do it to me, you know, than the poor kid. I felt so bad for the poor kid. It's not funny. I gotta stop laughing. It's not funny, but but yeah. So it was a good match. He's very entertaining. I've been a huge fan of MJF for the longest.
He's awesome. He's awesome. He tweeted something the other day, and I wanted to tweet something at him, and I'm like, I'm not going to be that guy because then I'm just going to get the people who will jump on my throat and think I'm a WWE ass kisser. I was going to comment on a tweet that he posted, MJF is just a poor man's Miz. And I'm like, you know, someone's going to take that the wrong way and think I'm trying to defend WWE, and I'm not. So I'm just gonna back away. I'm gonna click X. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna shut Twitter off. Okay, bye.
Yeah, you retweeted the video, and like I said this MJF made the kid cry, and like 12,000 views later, but he retweeted it something about a false Burberry or something like that, or
false Burberry. That's the brand of scarf that he has. Right, yeah. So.
That was entertaining.
Yeah. Question is, with this video, I'm trying to realize this. I hope it appears on our YouTube channel after it's done.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh, God.
If not, then we're going to have to be posting an audio clip of this podcast up there. So hopefully not. But anyways, we'll worry about that at a later time. Yeah. So what else is happening around the AEW world is a couple of things, which we'll get into right now. We'll go over the picture one and then the other tweet. We sent out 2 tweets in the last 2 weeks, and we do want to thank all you guys for participating in those tweets. We feel the love. Like, thank you very much. And to show our thanks to you, we're going to show it right here live on YouTube. I have a slideshow here of we asked you guys to post pictures of your meet and greets with AEW stars. So give me a sec here before I pull it up. So that was the one tweet we sent out to you guys to post any pictures of the meet and greets with you and the stars of AEW. The other one was it was a question tweet, I believe, and it was I don't remember what the question was, Tiff.
What, the one that we ask questions? We want your questions?
Yes, we want your general questions.
I have all of those.
Which we're going to answer all of them today. Yeah. So first we'll do the AEW, I guess, fan meetup slideshow, you can call it.
Yeah.
So I'll put it up on the screen for you guys right now. There you go. I'll let it fly through. Again, thank you very much for you guys for sending us the pictures. Awesome. There's a bunch of cool looking ones. It's from like Peter Avalon to Cody Rhodes to Ali to Luchasaurus, the recent signing, to Brandy Rhodes with it, the Young Bucks. These were awesome. Like really, really cool looking meet and greet photos. I know, Tiffany, you posted yours with Joey Janela, so that was cool. So thank you guys for posting those pictures, by the way. This was really, really cool.
I love seeing pics.
And I love seeing the ones that are older, like really old from like before they were signed with AEW.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite. So yeah, I think there was one of Cody Rhodes like back when he had dark hair too. So that was an old one. So thank you to all who participated and posted those pictures. Really, really do appreciate it, and gave you a little share there on our YouTube channel. So yeah. Anywho, we'll get into the fan question. We tweeted out a fan question to asking you guys out there anything you want us to answer about AEW, giving us our opinions on it. So I know Tiffany has them up.
Okay, you want to go for them?
Let's go for them.
All right, there's a few.
Okay.
Michael Chow.
Eichel Chow?
Michael Chow.
Oh, it sounded like you said Eichel Chow.
Yes, Eichel Chow.
Eichel, the M silent.
No M. Eichel Chow. Okay.
Silent. Just like the librarian.
Which male and female superstar in WWE's low card talent do you AEW could make their big star in the company? My pick would be Chad Gable and Peyton Royce.
Interesting. So someone from the lower card in WWE right now that you could take from them and make into a big star. I mean, there's people in their lower card that shouldn't be in their lower cards. So that's tough.
Yeah.
I guess I got to pick someone that's kind of like in the lower card that would normally be there. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of a lot, but
I'm thinking I guess maybe
just because I know they won't utilize.
Roode?
Okay.
I want to see Bobby Roode because
he shouldn't be there. He should be main event.
I agree.
Because he came from main event.
He was so huge in NXT, and then he came over, and then he dropped out. Unless you want to go like EC3, but I feel like
he was also big in TNA as well. Like Bobby Roode just went up then back down.
What do you want me to say? R-Truth?
Well, I think someone that never got his shot as a big person yet in WWE, and I think he's come a long way. He's on the incline. He hasn't reached his peak yet. Is Buddy Murphy. I think they could easily make Buddy Murphy a huge star in AEW, especially for how good he's become in the ring with his in-ring craft. I think Buddy Murphy would be awesome, and I think they could do a lot with him or like a Cedric Alexander.
Cupid just said the finest.
Yep, the finest. Yes, Kona Reeves could be a huge star at AEW.
He probably could. Maybe me and Cupid Girl could get on the finest train.
He's Samoan. He ain't going anywhere.
AEW.
He's Samoan. He ain't going anywhere. He's Samoan. He's going to get the Samoan treatment. Oh, you're Samoan. You must be like The Rock. All right, come on over. You ain't going anywhere. 5, 10, 18-year contract. There you go. It's funny because I always joked about it before, and I can't believe it could come to it in the future. Hockey in the NHL, they have certain contracts that players sign that are called no move, that have no move clause in it, meaning they cannot be traded to any other team. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you in the future, WWE's going to start putting implements in their contracts saying you can't go anywhere. You're stuck here. Guarantee.
And female-wise?
Female-wise, Sasha Banks right now because she's not being used anywhere, but I know she's hit her peak.
I wouldn't consider her a low card.
Peyton Royce is good.
What's her name? I'm blank today. I'm still not feeling good, guys. Zane. So give me some
But Karzin came from.
What's her name? What's Sonya Deville?
Liv Morgan? Oh, Mandy Rose. Oh.
Yeah, no, not Mandy. No, now I'm thinking. No, what's the other girl?
Sonya Deville as Mandy Rose.
That's married to the War Raiders.
That's Sarah Logan.
Okay,
that's
Sarah
not
Logan.
Sonya Deville.
I'm sorry. I'm like I said, I don't feel good today. So I'm my brain's right now with WWE. But yeah, I think Sarah Logan. I actually liked her, and I feel like that she could develop like so much better maybe in like AEW.
To me, I would
Adam said Dana Brooke.
do an Amber. No, Dana Botch. Nah, she needs to work on her craft first. I'd say an Ember Moon.
Oh yeah.
Ember Moon could probably be the top of their division because it doesn't seem like they're doing anything with her. Or even Nikki Cross. Like they had a gold mine with Nikki Cross, and what I see them doing with Nikki Cross, making her best friend. Really? Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'll go into a rant here. But those two. Let's move on to the next question before I go into a rant here.
Question. Okay, Ron said, "Who do you think will be the first world champion and why?"
First world champion?
Yes.
So the winner of the Adam Page and Jericho match.
So I'm gonna say Hangman Page because I feel like Jericho does not need it. And I feel like this is Hangman Page's time to shine. So
I agree with you with that aspect. I'm picking Jericho because I think just the way Jericho's built himself as a heel and saying like, I'm the one to start this company. I think they could take that, get part of the gimmick and put it into the champion gimmick and him running with that title and saying like, I'm the champion because they picked me, or I picked I'm the champion because I'm that good. They should thank me for being their champion and putting their new title on the map. You know what I mean? Like they could add all he's been doing into his title gimmick, and that could lead to a really good story of a feel-good character or a really good babyface taking the title off Jericho at like the first pay-per-view after their TV show starts. I don't know. I kind of feel like they could go in that direction. They can go in either direction. Both sound really good. What you say about Hangman feels pretty good too, because there's also a feel-good story with him being the first champion where he's come through in the last year. So you can go either way.
Challenge.
I'm more of a heel type of guy. I love the heel. I'm picking Jericho in that case. So she's going with Hangman. I'm going with Jericho.
They got a preview of what we think
with our predictions. Yeah, unless something changes.
Yes.
That's
okay. So, next question. Datsila, what was your initial reaction to the Talk is Jericho podcast? Were you surprised?
Oh, so we're referring to the one with Moxley on it.
Yes.
I was shocked because I woke up and I just seen like everyone blowing up over this like Moxley and Jericho podcast. I'm like, uh-oh. And then I seen people comparing it to Punk and Cabana, and I'm like, oh no. I only read snippets of what was said during it. I'm like, oh, like is this real? So I went and listened to it, and my initial reactions were, damn. Like I knew stuff in the behind the scenes WWE weren't obviously good with what's been going on, especially in the last 6 months. And I knew Vince McMahon was off the rockers, but this kind of just proves more to you people who defend this crap how much more off the rockers this guy truly is. And I saw people even defending saying, "Oh, this is not true. He's just sour about WWE, so he's gonna make up stuff." I'm like, to me, Dean Ambrose doesn't seem like and Jon Moxley for that matter, or whatever you want to call him by his real name, he doesn't seem like the guy to do that. Like it just didn't seem like it just seemed like the creative frustrations got to a point where, he said what needed to be said, and I think I commend him for doing that because, obviously what we got from him about what's been going on backstage is something that I'm glad he came out with that. That's something you shouldn't hide. If stuff like that's happening backstage, come out and tell people. Like it just shows you how much of a cancerous place it is backstage in the WWE. And it's not just him. People acting like he's like the only one that's been saying this. Punk said it like 5 years ago. And it's still going on. Sasha Banks is staying at home because she doesn't want to be there, and how bad the environment is, how bad creative is.
I felt so bad like hearing this podcast, and then you look at it also in the terms of, here's another person. He's just like anybody else. He's just like you. He's just like me. He's just like Kyle or anybody else. And for you have to wake up and dread to go to work.
Yeah.
Like your life should not be like that. You should like your job, and I get it. You got to pay bills and you got to do your thing and everything like that. But that feeling that overtakes you, that you got to get up and you're like, oh, I got to go to this job. That's a horrible feeling.
And it all came from creative. Like he wanted to be there. He loved being there. He loved being the derby. He loved being with his friends. He enjoyed it, wanted to work for this company, but creative the creative minds that were are portraying his character, and what Vince was doing to him was making him sick to come to work. And he didn't agree with stuff, and then they still did it anyways. He didn't agree with it, but he's like, he was a company guy and said, okay, I'll do it, even though I don't like it, just because I respect this company enough to do it for them. But it just got to a point where he's like, he was tired of it, and especially his last couple of months with the WWE, what he exposed, what they were trying to get him to do, like, the whole like it's such good shit meme came out of this, and it just showed you again. The biggest thing was showed you how out of touch Vince McMahon is with wrestling today. He has no clue of how to build a character anymore, and it's clearly showing on WWE TV. It's nuts, and that's a lot of people like saying this was a conspiracy theory. Like, this is all like everyone's in cahoots with each other. No. I don't think Vince McMahon would have allowed him to drag his name through the mud like that. Even it wasn't that bad. Like, he just exposed to what was actually going on. It's not like he said he hates Vince McMahon. He wishes him he was dead. He wasn't happy with the creative direction he was going in. He was tired of coming to work and dealing with that week after week. He wanted out.
Right.
He got out. Like, there's the big thing too with him only getting paid $500 for his last Shield appearance, and I have mixed reactions about that. But it was nuts. If you want to know my reaction, first reaction, it was nuts.
Did you get your Omaha steaks? No.
Anyways,
right.
Next question.
Okay, the Broadcast Podcast. Who has been your favorite AEW signee so far? That's a good one. I mean, I'm huge for MJF.
Yeah.
I've been a huge fan of him. But I mean, there's just so many. I became a huge fan of Brandon Cutler.
Yeah.
I've seen.
If we're not picking the elite, if we're sticking outside the elite.
Yes, outside the elite. I'm gonna go outside of the elite. So, and I like I know Darby hasn't appeared yet, but I'm so excited for Darby. So excited.
I mean, I can go with my girl Hikaru Shida just because I've newly grown to love her more, but I think that Jericho has been my favorite signing so far. It's weird to say that because he's outside the elite and he was one of the first signees, but I think Jericho for sure is probably my favorite signing because this is the best Jericho that I have seen in a long time, and I love this evil Jericho. And now that he's getting more creative freedom behind it, we're just seeing how good he can be as a heel even more when he has full control over his character. So I think Jericho has been like a breath of fresh air for me with this whole thing and the whole thing with AEW. So I'm gonna pick Jericho. If we had to go male female, I'm obviously gonna pick Hikaru Shida because I've grown to love her ever since she got signed and looking more into her. But I love the whole Jericho thing.
And I guess as female, like Britt Baker, because I feel like this is her time too.
Britt Baker, baby.
Oh boy. Okay, next question. We got two more. Your reaction to August 31st, New Japan, NXT, and AEW.
The same weekend? Are they all in the same weekend?
Yes, the same day.
Are you sure?
So, yes.
What NXT event is that?
Is the UK.
Oh, NXT Takeover.
Yes,
Blackpool.
but that's gonna be on earlier. Look, I don't.
And
think
it's not as. I don't think
purpose.
it's not as big as the regular NXT. Like, it's huge over there, especially for UK fans, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's competition level.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It's not competition. I think it just happened that way. I don't think anybody's trying to step on anybody's toes. I think it just happened that way. So, but I'm trying to go to All Out. So I'm working on that this week. I will give you guys an update next week. So I'm working on trying to get tickets. So, but yeah. So hopefully I'm there.
So it's All Out happening that weekend, and there's a New Japan event.
Yeah.
The same day.
I think so.
Oof, that's tough. I feel bad for New Japan. I know that AEW and New Japan want to grow with the relationship and be in
like
good
on
terms.
at like 3 in the morning for us on Eastern time normally.
I think it'll be okay.
So I feel like it'll be okay. I'll probably watch the UK takeover because it's at 2:00 Eastern time, and I'm assuming the AEW is going to be like between like 7 and 8.
Is AEW now like it's fresh? It's the thing to do. I think they're obviously going to get the most viewers out of it. If this was AEW like 5 years into the future, I think there'd be maybe a poll depending on who's performing for New Japan and stuff. But because AEW is so fresh, they're obviously gonna get the majority of the viewers with that event. So I'm not too worried about it. In answer to the question, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. Okay. So our last question is from Jeffrey Elliott. After hearing Jon Moxley talk about himself and plenty others, including Roman Reigns, as being scripted during promos, do you think he could possibly jump ship as well? After all, him and Dean are like brothers, and doing less dates could win him over.
Did you say Roman Reigns jumping ship? No, absolutely
not. They're gonna.
If I can go -0, like below down, there's no chance.
No way.
And as Vince McMahon would say, there's no chance in hell that this guy is jumping ship.
And they talked about this as well, that they're not going to sign every WWE person that walks away. So, I mean, Sean Spears is not officially signed yet with AEW. He's all over. He's touring all over the place.
And they only went for Jon Moxley because like that's a big impact. Like that's huge. They needed something to, get the wheels running. Like they were already running, but this just adds firepower here, and I think that was a must-needed sign, especially with Moxley. They could do a lot with him, especially because he was going back to his Jon Moxley character. I think AEW saw that and was like, yeah, we need that. Yeah. So, again, like what Tiff just said, they're not going to sign everybody coming out of WWE.
We want new talent. We need to see all this new stuff. You got to build new characters young characters.
Which they are as well. That's what the big thing is. That we've seen like all these people they're giving a chance to, like Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, even though they are well-known outside AEW. Right. They're getting the time for a bigger stage, which AEW is trying to create. They're going to be that bigger stage for them. And guys like Darby and, a lot of people, Brandon Cutler, like there's lots of the list goes on here.
Yeah, like I know like a lot of like I know Kyle doesn't know like maybe some more of the names like I was so excited with Darby. Kyle didn't know Darby. I knew Darby because Darby's here in New York all the time. I didn't really know too much about Brandon Cutler. I mean, he's mostly in California, but I knew of him. So Jungle Boy was another one. I've seen him perform here live too. MJF. A lot of people didn't know MJF, but I knew MJF because I've been following him for years. So, I'm more excited than maybe like somebody else would be because they don't know. But like, look, we're getting like, look at MJF. Like he's going to be an amazing heel. I mean, I'm sure he's like a fan favorite with a lot of people, and we're building him up. But nobody, and he's 22 years old, 22, 23 years old. He's so young. And I feel like he's eventually going to be the face of the company eventually. So I like seeing this is what I always talk about. I love, and this is what I miss about like old school 90s wrestling is like building a character and taking its time building the character. A long time process. Maybe, you don't get the championship belt right away. Maybe it takes years for you to get the belt. But this is exactly what I'm excited to see.
Yeah. So I like the way it was just in the chat just now that PW fandom put it. It's better if they don't sign everyone, have a core have a core and a float people in and out who are hot at the moment and cycle them out when they are not. I mean, like it's the people, and then I think he means by the floating is the people that are already known. Like as soon as they're hot, you cycle them in. When they're not, cycle them out. You let them put over the new people and build bigger stars. So,
right. And then you have the open to like work with other companies like Orange Cat, because I know Orange Cassidy was one of my favorites or whatever like that. Like I see him in a bunch of indies, and he showed up in the Battle Royale. Yeah. So it's like it has that door open that like, okay, Orange Cassidy showed up, maybe he'll show up again next year or something like that. So I kind of like that idea as well. And like you said, like it might be somebody who's hot in the indies, but they're not going to sign him, but maybe he'll make an appearance somewhere. So I like that as well.
Right. So thank you for the questions, guys out there. Really do appreciate it. And look out on our Twitter at AllElitePod for future fan questions to be answered and talked about on the show. So other than that, we're going to move on here.
Yeah.
And gonna do a brief catch up on being the elite, because we did miss the last 2 weeks from not podcasting. So I missed last week's episode. I only saw a snippet of the beginning where Matt and Nick were doing the shield pose, and they asked John to do it, and John just shook his head and walked away.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too much into detail with that one. Just anything big that came out of that one. Because I know you watched it.
I watched it. They kind of thanked Crackle Barrel. They were sitting in the rocking chairs, talking about that with All Out. We saw a little promo with the Liberians. Then the Michael Nakazawa.
Okay, so last week was basically stuff like Fallout from Double or Nothing. Gotcha.
Right, and there was little things like Jay Bailey was at the gym working out, going Michael Nakazawa.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That. Also with the let's see, then we had a little the mailbag.
Yes.
I think that's pretty. I'm sorry, guys.
Yes.
It's
the mailbag.
The focus really on this week, but Joey Ryan too, right? That was in last week's also with
the big announcement that he's sticking with the Indies. He's not going over to WWE. So that's huge. I mean, they can't do that character on television. I don't even think they can do it on NXT television. It's too rated R for the WWE. So I'm glad he's sticking with the Indies, and he loves it. And it's not also about that. It's also his love for the Indies. He doesn't want to go anywhere. So
he said that the fans are his blonde girl. Oh, just make me feel warm and fuzzy.
Don't touch my heart.
All right. Oh God. All right. Let me throw up. Let's move on.
Anyways, so being the elite, this week's episode 156. Love this episode. Love the beginning of this episode, the intro with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus in the grocery store, and Jungle Boy being too short at first to reach the top shelf, and then Luchasaurus puts him on his shoulders like they do in the ring, and that was just them going through the grocery store, and they got to the meat section, or Luchasaurus and he took a handful of a bunch of red meat, and then Jungle Boy's like, no, and he pointed at the other side of the grocery store, and then they show him holding a bunch of bananas, looking upset, and Jungle Boy going, yeah, bananas. So that was an interesting intro to the episode. We start off with Hangman Page on the phone with Nick Jackson, and they talk about the match, a match at Fyter Fest, and Hangman wants to face Cody Rhodes one-on-one. I think that's what it was. Cody Rhodes, he said he wanted to face one-on-one. No.
What? Wait.
Who did Hangman want to face one-on-one at Fyter Fest? MJF, sorry.
Yeah,
he wanted MJF one-on-one. Sorry, I got confused a little bit. I started reading what happens after this. See, and then I guess the phone was breaking up, and there was static, and then he didn't hear anything, and then I guess Hangman was talking about Jungle Boy, and I guess that's all Nick heard. And he's like, okay, I'll book it. And then it showed the graphic of Hangman versus Jungle Boy. And then we moved on to MJF and Cody. This is where I got confused here. MJF was putting up a poster of Cody Rhodes at this school. Some fans said, "Oh, I'm sorry, MJF, but the school doesn't want a picture of Cody Rhodes up here." And MJF was half defending it and half agreeing, half defending it, saying, "What, you want me to put the greatest wrestler of all time, Cody Rhodes, up there? Yeah, you know what? No, I agree. We shouldn't be doing this. The school doesn't want us to." And then he's like, "You want to go get some ice cream? Want to get some ice cream?" And the fan's like, "Yeah." So they go off into the distance, and you just hear MJF attacking the fan. And then we go back on screen. The guy's got a underwear wedgie hanging from his head. A, that's ouchie. B, they make him say says a bunch of stuff about agreeing with MJF, and he's licking some ice cream. So that was
they're very premium in scarves.
That was very interesting. Yeah, the premium, he wears the premium in scarves Burberry. So yeah, that was cool. That was funny. Then we had a Dark Order promo. This is really cool. His minions are called Creepers.
It really was creepy.
So those Creepers, these are the people that attacked Tiffany at the indie show. So we're gonna call them the Creepers. So we got the Dark Order with the Creepers, the Tiffany attrackers. Yeah.
I need a repellent. I'm gonna make a repellent for the show.
those guys. Though I figured it out. The people that attack you at the indie shows are the creepers from the Dark Order. I guarantee it. That's what I'm going with, and I'm sticking my guns.
That's great.
You didn't see the wedgie?
They fly.
Look closer, Cuba girl. Look closer. Go back and watch. You can see the wedgie. He's got the underwear hanging from the back of his head. But,
he does.
Yeah.
He does. He got like a, what are they called?
Yeah, those creepers are the people that attack. I figured it out. I put 2 and 2 together. Anyways, they cut a promo on all the AEW tag teams, so I thought it was pretty cool. I'm excited. They're like they went over like, oh, they said that who they don't know who we are, and you know this is a really cool promo done. The only thing I picked out of that, I don't know if there's a history with it. I'm not really familiar. Don't critique me if I'm not. The one guy with the beard, the bald head with the beard, the guy on the right, he had like War Raiders paint almost looking style on his face.
I don't think it was like.
I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if he's a Viking as well. I don't know. Anyways, this is a cool promo. I like the promo. It's really well done.
It's
Fear
good.
the Dark Order.
I got maybe interested because I feel like they didn't get much of a pop at Double or Nothing, so I'm kind of intrigued to see like where they're gonna go with this.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just me, but I know if you guys are all out there are Star Wars fans, when they were saying the Dark Order, could you tell what I was thinking through my head at first when they were talking about the Dark Order? If you guys know Star Wars, you know what the new dark side for the new movies is called the First Order. So literally that's all I was thinking of through this whole promo. So just because I'm a huge Star Wars geek, so geeked out there. Anyways, we moved on. Hangman was on the phone with Nick again, saying like I saw the graphic. That's not what I said, man. Like I didn't want to face Jungle Boy 1-on-1. And the phone was breaking up again. He mentioned Jimmy Havoc, so Nick took it as, oh, you want to face Jimmy Havoc instead. So they put another graphic up of him being booked against Jimmy Havoc 1-on-1. And I'm like, oh man, that's even worse. Then we moved on to Peter Avalon, Brandon Cutler. I'm loving the more Brandon Cutler on B&D Elite here. They talk about Double or Nothing. And Brandon Cutler asked Peter Avalon what's his favorite part about Double or Nothing, and we get this like magical flashback of Peter and Leva Bates just like doing the whole mirror mimicking thing. But it's like the type of music where like he loved that, like like he's falling in love with Leva Bates. And then he snapped out of it, and he's like, Brandon, can I tell you a secret? And then like he whispers something. He's like, hey, come here, shh. Is Peter Avalon falling in love with Leva Bates?
Ooh, I
Gasp! Maybe.
I would love it.
Quite possibly.
I can't wait to see where they're going with this.
I'm interested to see. Maybe we're gonna know what the secret is. I want to know what the secret is. So, moved on. We had a House of Glory promo.
Yes.
So
I'm going, guys.
Yeah, House of Glory being where near Tiff, and we went to the House of Glory show when I was in New York there. So High Intensity 8 is the event. What it's called is their big event. Young Bucks are officially going to be there. This is this whole promo, which is huge. It was later announced in this same promo that Matt confirms that it's going to be their last indie show before they go over to AEW fully. So that's also a big thing. And I didn't know, they mentioned something that the Young Bucks were actually the first ever House of Glory World Tag Team Champions. So I didn't know that. So that's actually a cool fun fact. So if you guys didn't know, they are the first House of Glory Tag Team Champions. And I know our boy Jerry is going to be commentating the show. So I'm sure he's excited about that.
Put a tweet out. He's so excited to do this. So that's the week of my birthday, guys. So make sure you come.
So if you're in the New York area, go wish Tiff happy birthday, and she'll hand you she'll give you a present.
Wait, what? What am I giving?
She's gonna give you the fantastic gift of an AEP business card. Yeah, look at that.
AEP hug. I'll give you an AP hug, but the catch is you can't come up to me with a stained shirt.
No, can't be a creeper. Cannot be that.
If you come up to me with a stained shirt, go away.
Anyways, then we got an All Out promo, which is pretty cool, beautifully done. Love the promo work for this. August 31st, Sears Center. Tickets go on sale Friday because it's transitioned into the Cody Rhodes promo about it. He was talking. This is funny because he talked about like all the craziness of the ticket sales, and he's like, who can't remember All In? And then they show like fake footage of like all like these are all Black Friday footages. He's like, this is what it was like for people to get tickets. So this was funny. I think this time it's going to be different. One is going to be fan-friendly pricing. $190 will be the most expensive ticket.
That's not bad.
That's huge. So you can sit ringside for $190.
Yes. Let's do it.
I can't go.
Fight for those tickets, guys.
And she said the cheapest ticket will be $25.
No, 30.
Or 30, sorry, 30.
30.
He said tickets go on sale this Friday at noon Eastern time, so adjust your time zones correctly. They go on sale. This is the funny part of this. So he's like, I can guarantee you that, and then Brady in the background, no, you can't guarantee, no. And he goes, okay. I can almost guarantee you. And then Brady's like, nope, you can't do that either. You did that last time. You can't do that. So then finally, Cody just goes, okay, on sale Friday at noon. Good luck. So that was funny. I love that part of that whole skit. Moved into the BT mailbag. 2 questions this week. Someone asked SCU when it was their aha moment when they figured out that they were going to be doing wrestling for a living. It was Christopher Daniels. He went over that he was like a loading dock guy, and that got noticed, and then he became a professional wrestler after that, which was awesome. And then I didn't listen to most of it. I was kind of writing notes down at this point.
Yeah, he was just saying that he remembered it was in 1999. He was at the Walt Disney theme park. Right, yeah. He was a male guy, and that his boss pretty much told him that he would have to fill the job. Mm-hmm. So, and that's when he said he walked away. He gave his notice right there, and he said that's when he realized that, this was the real deal.
And then we had Sammy G getting asked what is the significance of the panda, as he said, like, yeah, if you didn't notice, I came out wearing a panda thing, got panda on my crotch, #panda crotch, and saying basically it's just his favorite animal. That's why he has panda everything. It's basically like his spirit animal, right? So Sammy G lives through the panda life. That's basically it. Then the last scene of Being the Elite this week, Hangman and Nick. Hangman basically
called him a son of a bitch.
Yeah. Son of a bitch. And Nick's just like, man, I already booked these guys. Like, we're gonna have to feature them all anyway. So Hangman's like, okay, fine. Well, if you have to feature them all 4-way. So that we get the graphic of it's being booked as a 4-way. I thought it was a tag team.
No, it's a 4-way.
It's a 4-way? Okay. For a second, I thought it was a tag team. So it's booked as a fatal 4-way right now and unless this changes with future Being the Elite episode, we get Hangman Page versus Jimmy Havoc versus MJF versus Jungle Boy. So a
story that we're continuing from Double or Nothing. Okay?
Love it.
Like, this is how you build.
And it's a free pay-per-view too, which is even great.
Yeah.
Then Nick's like, I gotta go. I got this like DVD with the word Lucha on the envelope. ? Yeah. So he's like, hey, do we have a DVD player? And he's like, oh, wait a minute. This is Being the Elite. I know how to do this.
You guys noticed on Twitter, they were like, Nick was tweeting this stuff out, talking about way before this video got posted out. He was putting microwave, Instapot. He was putting
So he puts the disc in the microwave. Didn't work. So he goes over to the Instapot, puts it in there, closes it, locks it, but then he opens the cabinet and there's suddenly a screen there, a laptop, and he's watching, and it was Felix and Pentagon Jr. talking on a street corner in Spanish throughout the whole promo. Like, you can't make out anything, and then they run away, and then Nick's like, well, I can't understand Spanish, so I have no idea what the hell they even said. And then they show the graphic of Cody and the Young Bucks, who are going to be a 6-man tag. Cody and Young Bucks facing off against Felix and Pentagon, the Lucha Brothers, and a mystery partner. So they were talking about the mystery partner in Spanish, which makes me think that maybe next week Nick tries to get someone who speaks Spanish to translate. And if you're going to keep a comedy aspect to it, I bet you they get someone like, maybe he asked Michael Nakazawa to translate it or something. I don't know, but
that video was filmed in front of the House of Glory. I was telling Kyle this morning. I was like,
we were there.
I was like, I noticed it right away. I was like, Kyle, do you know I said that spot? I was like, we were there. Like, I took you there. That's the railroad. So, but
So yeah.
then I was joking around. I put a tweet out because I'm a big fan of Anthony Gangone, who's of House of Gangone, which is the House of Glory. So I was like, oh, maybe he'll be the mystery partner or something. So like, I would mark out. But people are thinking it's Jericho as the mystery partner. To continue off of the Double or Nothing. I started noticing that on like Twitter. A lot of people are thinking that.
Okay.
So
I feel you. I feel you, dog. Yeah. So yeah, and then we got the end snippet which we said we're going to be interviewing Maria, who makes those end snippets with the cartoon characters of the Young Bucks. Going to be interviewing her guys next week at either 3:30 or 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll tweet it out and let you guys know when we'll be interviewing. It'll be live right here on YouTube for you guys to watch the interview, and you guys can put in your questions as well down below for her to answer as well. So I'm excited to get that done next week as well with Maria. And if Maria, if you're watching this, thank you very much for coming on to the show, which we'll thank you next week as well anyways. But that's it for Being the Elite. I'm excited for the future here. You guys didn't see they've started the Road to Fighter Fest videos, so part 1's out. I imagine part 2 will probably be out tomorrow at some point, so I'm excited with those things. Those are really cool. I like that they do those Road to the next pay-per-view, which I imagine as soon as Fighter Fest is done, they're going to do Road to Fight for the Fallen, which is the 3rd week of July, I believe. So, she is watching. We'll see you next week, Maria. Anywho, get to that part of the show, guys. The last bit of the show, news and rumors surrounding AEW. We basically go over what's been being spread around the rumor mill with All Elite Wrestling, and we guys give you guys our opinions. You know, they're just opinions. Most of it's facts. If it's fact, we'll let you know that it's fact. If it's not, we're guys giving you our opinions, our takes on some of the rumors out there. Again, with rumors, you take with a little grain of salt, You just kind of spread it like that, or you can do a Salt Bay, whatever your thing is. But yes, let's get into the news.
We're gonna have to go on to the news because my computer is freezing.
Oh no! Nah. Anyways, because I can kind of hear myself, which is weird. Anywho, news and rumors. We'll start off, guys, with an AEW hiring. Got to hire. Yes. Hires a former WWE director to be a behind-the-scenes role person. His name is Raphael Morphy. God, I'm bad with names, so I apologize if I butchered that. Who worked for a number of years as a senior director of WWE live event marketing, has been hired for All Elite Wrestling to oversee AEW's own live events. So we got the former senior director of the WWE live events to do the AEW live events. So they're right there. There's AEW's gonna have live events. That's huge. Yeah. So I love that. And that's obviously it's smart to have live events, Tiff, because that's also a place they can test out the newer talents they find around the world for AEW and test them out there. It's like what NXT does. When someone gets signed to NXT, they're not on NXT TV right away. They test them out in the NXT live events to see what kind of character they want to go with, and if the character doesn't work, they switch it up, and to see how your mic skills are and how you work with certain wrestlers. So I love that AEW is going to have something similar to that. Morphe tweeted out earlier Monday. I think this was last Monday, or is it today? It was yesterday.
Yeah.
We're on Tuesday today. God, Kyle. Learn your dates now. Today I commenced my first day as a full-time AEW employee. Honored to be part of this historic journey. An amazing team has been assembled. Excited to collaborate with everyone at AEW. Morphe actually was in attendance at Double or Nothing. So in addition to his many years of experience with WWE, Morphe, through his company Signature Moves Productions, has worked with Impact Wrestling, Major League Wrestling, House of Hardcore, and Legends of Wrestling, a Brian Knobbs-backed entity that runs periodically since 2013. Morphe has also worked outside of professional wrestling, working with both the New York Mets of the MLB and the New York Cosmos of the North American Soccer League. His Twitter bio notes that he has 27 years of experience in the realm of sports entertainment as an executive. So this is definitely a big hire by AEW with this guy, Morphe, running their live events. It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. I'm excited.
Yeah. Let's do it.
One thing I forgot to show you guys earlier when we kind of talked about it in Being the Elite. If you guys didn't see it, awesome looking poster, actually designed by our buddy Salrex, who actually does the designs for House of Glory. This is the poster that they have for House of Glory, High Intensity 8. Really cool looking poster with Matt and Nick Jackson there with an advertisement. So Salrex, man, good job with you with the graphics, man. Keep it up, man. I love your graphic work. He's done graphic work for us in the past. He's actually designed our AEP logo, so I also want to thank him for that. But yeah, he is the one behind that poster. So yeah, I forgot to show that earlier. So Tiffany, next bit of news or rumors.
Okay. I think I got my
You
computer.
think? Or do you want to, should I go?
I'm going to see what I can do. I closed some of the stuff, so we'll just go with whatever. Okay, so there was a tweet by Tyler Breeze.
Oh.
He accidentally says he wants to join AEW.
I seen that.
He put the tweet out, for the love of God, ... Breeze, man, ... me, make me. So maybe there's your undercard that we were talking about earlier. With the fan tweet. I don't know.
I think he's sticking around.
Over.
I think he's sticking around in AEW until in NXT. I think when his NXT stint's over, maybe. But I think he's been going to be sticking around here. I'm
sorry, Anthony Gangone just retweeted my tweet. I go, I'm just saying, I think Anthony Gangone should be the mystery partner for Fyter Fest. He just retweeted it.
That's funny. Anywho, back to this news. He's not the only one. I saw someone else tweet. If anyone did see, and he tweeted and took it off. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong here. I'm like 90% sure it was Velveteen Dream that tweeted. Now what, AEW? After Takeover was done, he was like, now what, AEW? And he took it down.
He's always posting things and taking it down. Like, you think like people aren't going to see this stuff. So
yeah, because that's what the notification bell's for. You get the notification as soon as someone tweets something. Anyways, yeah. So I don't know what's going on with people tweeting and untweeting. I don't know if that was a directive by Triple H or these people are just doing it on their own. I'm not going to speculate. They would do what they want to do. Sure, why not? Do what you got to do. Clearly shows that the competition factor is working because you guys are paying attention. You watch.
Yeah.
We'll move on here. We got some news here. Triple H responds apparently to Cody Rhodes' AEW Double or Nothing Throne Smash in a new video. I guess in the hype video for WWE's upcoming June 28th Japan show, Triple H revealed that he would be wrestling on the card in this video below. Triple H, dressed in a suit, looks smug as he sits atop the throne with a sledgehammer by his side. It says here in the article, okay, you might be saying to yourself, but Triple H always sits on a throne looking smug. He's the King of Kings after all. Why is this a response to Cody Rhodes? Well, if you look closely at the throne he was sitting on and judge for yourself, it literally was almost the identical throne that they had at Double or Nothing. Everything is the same about the throne. The shape of the logo at the back, the skulls on the pikes on the side, the skulls on the armrests in the front and the base are identical. Triple H's throne even had a very subtle crack at the top of it in the exact same place that Cody Rhodes smashed. You guys got to look very closely at the video and look at the crack. It's literally in the same place where it cracked at Double or Nothing.
I guess we should tweet that out.
Yeah.
We'll tweet it after the podcast.
Hey, one sec.
You want to? Bless you. I got sick via Skype.
It got me sick, Tiff. Damn.
Lysol.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, so basically showing that the throne is back together and, it's still stronger than ever. So
I don't know.
Small little tiny meaningless jab.
Like Triple H wrestle anymore. I was having this conversation the other day. I don't want to see it, so I don't really care. But
we'll move on.
Yes. Cody Rhodes on whether AEW will have monthly pay-per-views. AEW Double or Nothing was a great success so far. We're still waiting on the official pay-per-view by numbers. By all signs point to very good results. The new company has been mentioned during WWE Raw, and whether Sami Zayn was supposed to say that or not, it's still a matter of controversy. One thing is for sure, it did wonder for AEW's Google search traffic on Monday night. As Cody Rhodes spoke in the media scum following Double or Nothing, he addressed the idea of AEW having tentpole events. WWE has their big four, but AEW might consider a different idea because pay-per-views are not cheap at $50 a pop. So the new idea doesn't want to put a big show unless it's worth it. So he said, so I think you probably look at Double or Nothing and All Out as tentpole events, and there may be another one. We're not going to be doing pay-per-view every month, and I realized that it was 50, and if you ask people to part with their money, you got to make sure it's worth it.
It's been worth it. That Double or Nothing was way worth $50. So yeah, that's cool. I love the idea of not having a pay-per-view every month. It's just, you need time to build some storylines.
Like a NXT kind of deal.
Yeah. So I think they might.
You don't want to overkill.
No, I think they might take a little bit from that in when doing their pay-per-view schedule. Other than that, something we did miss because we were away for 2 weeks that JR kind of tweeted. I'll put up on the screen for you guys. JR actually tweeted about the show, the actual TV show for AEW on TNT Drama. It begins this October. Day of the week is to be announced, but it's going to be 2 hours. That's all we need. Live 2-hour show. He puts, check us out. Thanks. So it's going to be on TNT Drama. We already know that. Day of the week is going to be announced soon. I imagine once they get everything finalized, Tuesday Night Dynamite will be the official day and name of the show. But 2 hours. Perfect. That's all you need. It's a 2-hour wrestling show. I don't think you need. We've seen how bad 3 hours can go or anything more than that. And imagine their pay-per-view lengths will be as long as what we saw at Double or Nothing, if not shorter, depending on the match card and how many matches are on there. I don't think AEW is going to be sticking to the same formula of we're going to have this many matches at every pay-per-view. We have to fill all those slots. They're just going to go whatever they have storyline-wise and then put it out there. There could be a card maybe that's only like 5 matches long. You know what I mean? So with the pay-per-view is tougher when you don't have a network. You have a certain time slot. If you go over, they cut you. So we saw that at All In last year. So I think for the time being until AEW gets a network going in the future, that's what we're going to get with their pay-per-views. So other than that, some other bit of news. I mean, again, we haven't been podcasting for 2 weeks, but at a WWE event a couple of weeks ago, if you guys didn't see it, I'm sure you did see it. There were 2 signs that were confiscated at a WWE SmackDown show. One said, "You aren't MJF," and the other one said, "Save us Triple H." The "Save us Triple H" one, I don't know why they took that away, but they did. But the "You aren't MJF" one was funny. I understood why they took it away, but they had it up there. It was clear as day, big giant white sign. They had it during the Kevin Owens thing, and they had it during the Elias, Drew McIntyre, and Shane McMahon thing. Big giant sign, "You aren't MJF." And the same guy had to "Save us Triple H" one. And it was funny because MJF actually didn't tweet the picture, but tweeted "You aren't MJF" that night that it came up. So that was pretty funny. So they're confiscated. So they're still taking stuff away that's AEW related. So
I wonder how they made MJF feel to see that.
He must feel good. I'm like, oh man, I'm getting my name out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm getting with the casuals. Or I mean, that's pretty close ringside ticket. I imagine they could be a casual or they could be a fan of everything and just want to show support to MJF. But they already took it away, obviously. I mean, way back in the day, I actually had a sign that they were looking for. I went to a SmackDown, and I brought a sign. This was hilarious. I think it was a SmackDown in November, and it said, "My Christmas List," and it had CM Punk, Justin Roberts, and someone else in the bottom of it. And these are all people that got in trouble by WWE and were kind of quote unquote fired or in bad books. And I had that sign. I was showing it up a lot, and I was on the hard camera side. And then I remember putting it away, and I remember WWE executives were walking up and down our row and looking for the sign. And they walked up, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. So I kept it, and I just said, I'm just not putting this sign up anymore.
Shame. Where's the bell? Shame.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
shame.
Yeah. I'll give myself a shame. Shame, Kyle. How dare you? Anyways, So yeah, that was a sign I brought, and obviously I didn't get it confiscated, but I know they were looking for it because I could see they're looking like right in our row that they're looking for it, and I was just standing still, like just looking at the wrestling, pretending I was watching it. It didn't have anything.
Terrible.
Anywho, some other bits of news. I don't think we have anything else. We already talked about Joey Ryan. He turned down the AEW contract. He's going to stick around with the Indies. That's okay with. I'm not. I think eventually he might come over, but as for now, I think he's happy with being floating around the Indies right now. Other than that, I seen that Jim Ross had no idea about Jon Moxley.
Yeah. Which is good because you didn't want all that stuff to get out.
So that reaction for Jim Ross had at the event was a legit, real reaction. Like, he had no idea that Jon Moxley was going to be there. So I'm sure he speculated and read rumors and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think he was never given the word from Cody Rhodes or anybody that, okay, Moxley's going to come out at this point, act surprised. What we got from Jim Ross was a legit reaction. And that's awesome. I love the real aspect of that. So that was cool. Other than that, I don't have anything else, Tiff. That's it. So, guys, make sure you are tuned in. Make sure you are following us on, again, all social media platforms, on Facebook at All Elite Podcast, on Instagram at All Elite Pod, on Twitter at All Elite Pod. Make sure you're following myself at Real Kyle Masters, and Tiffany. I'll put it back on the screen for you guys. She's with Fat Pharaoh there. Make sure you are following myself again at Real Kyle Masters on Twitter, at Loves to Dream 82. All links are located down in the description box below on YouTube. And thank you if you are taking us on the go and downloading the episode on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, Castbox, and iHeartRadio. We're available everywhere and for everyone. Make sure you are giving us also a 5-star ratings. That would be greatly appreciated. And of course, as always, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button on YouTube. We want to get close to 1,000 so I can finally change that URL that's been bugging me for ages now. YouTube won't let me change it until we're at 1,000, so we'll get there eventually. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, sharing us on all social media platforms on Facebook and Twitter, and getting the name out there, guys. The more views, the better. And make sure you are hitting that bell icon for your notification updates. Also, like I said before, we do have a Discord. If you are familiar with Discord, link is down in the YouTube description below for you guys. Make sure you're joining our Discord chat. Really fun stuff in there, and it allows you to chat with a bunch of other wrestling fans and stuff like that about AEW, about WWE, whatever. You can talk whatever in there. We don't hold back. Just make sure you keep it, appropriate enough so that we don't have to do anything. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in live here on YouTube or on Periscope. We're, again, starting next week. We're going to be available everywhere. We're going to be on Twitch. We're going to be on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere for you guys to enjoy the live podcast wherever you guys want to watch it. And again, we're going to be a double episode next week, our regular episode and the interview with Maria, the one behind the final animations on the Being the Elite. It'll be around 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time or 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Other than that, guys, I'm Kyle Masters, as always. That is my co-host, Tiffany, the Executive Vice President of Giggles and the Heartbreak Chick. We will see you guys next week for the double episode. And, yeah, that's about it.
Bye, guys.
See ya.